What's going on, guys? It's your boy Chaos back here at the Chaos and Loot podcast on a Saturday. Yes, we know it's a Friday, not a Friday live. We decided we're gonna do some new things in the pod today, but of course, you know it's your boy Chaos, and we got your boy motherfucking West Coast Lulu in the building. What it do, Lulu? How you doing today, man?
West Coast Lulu.
How
You
you
know
feeling
me,
today,
Chows.
man?
I'm chilling, bro. Happy to
Chilling?
be here.
Oh man, your camera's out of. Just turn it, yeah. We always have these cameras, man. You know what? Pan and tilt cameras, they're good, but
It's all good.
But damn,
It was fine right now, but
there we
it's
go.
all
See,
right.
like, yeah, I think it's because we switched up everything,
Yeah.
and now I'm out of spot. So bear with us real quick, guys. Let me make sure we're good here. Thank you, guys. Pan and tilt cameras, they're good. They're nice to have, but you know, we run into a lot of problems sometimes with them because they want to get all out of whack. But anyways, welcome back, guys. Glad to have you guys back on a Saturday. Again, like I said, I know we're doing the Saturday thing instead of a Friday. And we actually had people hitting us up. Actually, I got to put your mic on too. Look at me, fucking up.
There you go.
I wonder if they can hear your... Let me see something, Lulu. These are the problems we run into, guys. Hold on, guys. 1 second here.
Can you guys hear me?
I don't think... Let me see. Talk? Yeah, your mic is on.
Oh,
We're
okay,
good.
we're
You're good.
good.
We're good. We're good.
Oh,
So,
what up,
at
Ceci?
first-
What up?
At
said,
first, it
hey,
wasn't
hey,
on.
guys.
Hey, what up, Cecilia? How you doing? Glad to have you in here. Thank you for joining in. Yes. Sweet. All right, so she can hear you. Yeah, man, like we were saying, so we decided to do Saturdays just because we've had a few people who like to watch us said that Saturday was good for them. And yeah, we decided to try it out and see if we're going to get more views on a Saturday and
I mean, but I think it's safe to say we could keep it at least on weekends. If,
close to weekends,
you know,
yeah.
so-
Friday, Saturdays. Like eventually we want to do more streams, but you know, at this point we're trying out things, trying to see what works for everybody, seeing, you know,
See what
the-
we can
the
do.
audience
Other,
base, how it
other
works.
things on the podcast that will make it better. More entertaining. I mean, step by step. We're still learning. I'm still learning on how to do all this stuff and what what people like to see. And bro, it's just some of the videos that we send each other. It's like it's just too funny, and I think it would be good to react to it, especially some of the thirsty ones, man. Like some.
Well, we said we were gonna do React videos, but
Yeah.
it's a matter of, I think really it's upgrading the computer at this point, in order for us to like really have a better scenario going on, you know. But
Yeah.
either way, man, like we're actively trying to like enhance the pod at all times. So you guys stay tuned, stay with us. You know, whether it's on a Friday or a Saturday, we're gonna go live, man. We're gonna do it. It's a thing for us, man. It's religious now, you know. We haven't missed one yet.
Yeah.
We could have went live yesterday too, but we decided on the Saturday. So
Yeah. I mean, I felt like we had a great episode last Saturday, and and the viewers,
yeah,
it's pretty
going up.
good. So
It's going up. And as a matter of fact, while we're here, let me see where we're at because I haven't checked this last couple of days. So let's just see where the subscribers is at while we're at it. Hey, we're at 1,582 subs.
oh my lord,
Let's go, baby.
let's go.
We're getting close to that 2,000 mark, people. So you
Damn.
gotta make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're in here watching and you haven't done so, because it helps. It really helps. Just fucking hit it, man.
Come on, man.
It's not that hard,
Stop
man. Like
playing.
you're already here watching.
Stop
and
playing.
for those of you who are already in here, hit the like button for us because it helps the pod. All right, it helps our algorithm. It helps us get out there. We're just trying to spread the word to everybody. So, on a different note, how about that job yesterday?
Man.
Yesterday, and what was it, Thursday?
Yeah, man. Overall, bro, like, yeah, I mean, we have to deal with certain things, bro. But I really just wanted to, like, just really feel for the lady.
Man.
I can't, we all have our certain, things that we have to go through as a family and our family members, whatever the deal is, and it's just natural causes, the just to give you guys a little insight, she had a elderly mom, which was like 84, I think she said.
Yeah, and she had mild case of
dementia. And, and then on top of that, she herself has some health issues, and she had like trouble moving around. And on top of that, she has to watch her elderly mom. And, we try to make this process for them as easy as possible, but at the same time, like, you got to take some responsibility
Gotta do what you're
as a
supposed to do,
person,
too.
as a grown up. And, the fact that, Ah, man, just the whole thing about her losing what she needed, and it was just you want to feel guilty, but at the same time you don't because, like I said, this is also a grown woman, you
Yeah.
know,
Well,
and
just to elaborate on it for those of you guys who don't understand what we're talking about, anyways, obviously, you guys know by now we're movers. For those of you who come back every week, know what we do. So we're movers and we're full service movers. We go in, pack your shit,
loaded,
put it
all
in
that.
boxes, make sure everything's ready to go, pad wrap everything, run it to the truck,
Professionals.
load it. Like as professional as it can be, right? But at the end of the day, there are certain types of jobs. We have corporate jobs, and then we have what we call COD, which is cash on demand. Is it? I don't even remember. Point being is they're paying out of pocket. These are not the corporate people. These are people who just need to move, and they're nobody's. No, I don't want to say nobody special, but like they just don't work for a big business like Google or
Yeah, that can provide that
Microsoft
service
like
and
we
all that
typically
stuff,
do,
yeah.
you know. So, anyway, so she was essentially supposed to pack most of her stuff when we showed up on Thursday, and the job was only supposed to be really Thursday. So they wanted us to show up, and they had maybe about 20 boxes that we had to pack on the paperwork. So we got what we needed, and luckily we had extra shit in our truck. And I was like, you know what, just leave it on there just in case we need it, right? So we get to the job.
Thank God for that. Let me
Man,
tell you.
I tell you, bro. So we show up to the job on Thursday. You know, let her know we're outside. She comes out. First thing she says, and I already know, like a lot of times when we have these types of situations, and like you start seeing a repetition, when somebody greets you at the door and they're like, "Okay, guys, it's gonna look crazy in here, but I'm gonna be here helping you. Don't worry, okay?" I'm like, oh, man. Every time I hear those types of things coming out, the first thing you say to me when I get to your house, I already know we're gonna deal with some bullshit. And sure enough, we get into this house. We start doing the walkthrough with her. I'm like, all right, just point out everything that needs to go with us, and make sure you have all your stuff aside that you're gonna keep with you, so we don't accidentally pack it.
And these aren't 1-2 bedroom houses. These are like 3-4 bedroom houses,
yeah,
man.
And so we're doing the walkthrough, and as we're doing the walkthrough, I'm seeing every room that we're going into has plenty of shit to pack. Spare room, bathroom, kitchen, dining room, living room, her room, like every room had something to pack, and I'm like, she's not ready to move,
At all.
bro. Like you can't look. For those of you who don't understand, when you have stuff on your counters, your dressers, you have decor in your what do you call it, your
Wherever,
China hutch,
yeah.
whatever it is, like we can't just move that shit without it being in a box, like. So for you to think that we're just gonna come in here and be out of here, and then she was like, at the end of the walkthrough, she's like, "So you guys are just gonna move everything today, and then only my bed and washer and dryer tomorrow, right?" I was like, "Well," I was like, "Let me just tell it to you like this. Unfortunately, you're not really prepared. You got a lot of packing to do here. This is a full day of pack, if not maybe a day and a half." And she's like, "Really?" She's like, "Well, I got to catch a flight tomorrow at 4." I'm like, "Well, you know." It's like it's hard to like not say like, well, you didn't fucking do what you had to do, you know what I mean? So you have to like ease them into him, like, well, look, part of the problem here is that there's a lot to pack, and we can't just. It's 3 guys. We can't load all of this all in one day unless you want us to be here until midnight tonight. You know what I mean? So I explained that to her, and she's like, well, look, I'm gonna be helping you guys throughout the day, and we're gonna pack stuff. Oh man, I tell you right now. Yeah, she didn't do anything this year. I tell you right now.
Put it this way: at some point, I had a question for her, and I couldn't find the lady, bro. I walked over the all over the house, and when you see closed doors, sometimes that means that we're not supposed to go in there or whatever the case is.
Right.
So I checked the house. I couldn't find her. There was one door I hadn't checked, and there was the bedroom, the one in the front. And sure enough, I knock, and she's like, "Oh, come in or whatever." And I come in, bro. She is laid out, like on the bed, like laying down. I'm like, aren't you supposed to be packing right now? Like,
straight fucking
bro, I haven't
sleeping,
even
boy.
taken a break yet, and I'm over here busting my ass, and she's over here laid out sleeping, bro.
Oh,
like,
man.
come on, man. Like, that shit is frustrating, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't, and sometimes these customers, I don't know if they realize like what we have to do on a day-to-day basis and how stressful it can be. But like when you come into a situation like this and you know what it takes, how long it's gonna take, and they're sitting there telling you, "Oh, I have a flight tomorrow at 4:00. I gotta," like, lady, that's essentially not my problem because you knew you were moving prior to us showing up. So why is this shit not packed? Now, again, granted, she said she had some health issues and it's been hard for her to pack, but like, if that's the case, then you need to shuffle around flights and figure out, like get more packed. Like, because at the end of the day, bro, like we can't come in here and become miracle workers, man. Like we work hard already as it is, just doing the job as it is. But for you to expect us to like perform more than what we would typically do in a day is crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean, like you said, it's doable, but it's not gonna be the way you're gonna want it to be. Is having us there to like midnight to just finish a job because you have to do something the next day.
Bro.
It's really unfair, you know what I mean, to put that kind of stress on us. But at the same time, we're people pleasers and we're trying to,
and
do
we're
our
professionals,
best. Yeah, of course, but there's only so much we can do, like you said, without having damaging the house.
Yeah, man.
Without, anything while you're packing, you got to be careful not to pack certain things. You got to watch out for all that stuff. So it just helps that if somebody is going to be moving,
that they're prepared.
Yeah, that they're prepared, that they have everything they need, all the stuff that you don't want us to pack. It's very simple. It's a simple process. You know what I mean? Like, it's not hard. I mean, it's just, okay, what do I absolutely need? Obviously need some shoes, some clothes, all your documentation, your IDs, all that shit. And speaking about that, she was
here's the kicker, guys.
She was catching a flight, right, guys? That was the whole thing. She needs to get out so she can catch a flight. Whatever the case was. Okay, fine. Tell me why we get a call on the way back home.
Yesterday. On the second day.
On the second day, asking Chris, "Oh, Chris, do you know who packed a certain place? Because the lady said that we might have packed her passport."
Bro.
Her passport. Is that not right off the bat
one of the most important
things, if not the most important thing? Because you're taking a flight, you're going out the country, you're gonna need that one thing. And she decides to like just fuck shit off and not this, and then technically she's kind of blaming us.
Yeah,
so it's not like she's calling to ask.
I didn't even tell you when we were doing the paperwork. She was talking to her one of the people who came, and she was like, she was talking to the guy who was like,
the young dude, yeah.
She was like, make sure the modem and the DirecTV stuff is still there on the thing. Make sure they didn't pack it. And I'm like, first of all, I told you from the first day, make sure you get everything that we don't need to pack or that you don't want us to pack and get it out the way, because we're going to come in and we're going to pack everything.
Not to mention she added more stuff the second day.
Yeah, and that was another thing, because, again, originally this job was supposed to be just Thursday, where we're going to pack and load all of it. And the only thing we're going to leave for the following day, Friday, was to pick up the beds, because they still needed to sleep there for the night.
Obviously.
And they said they still needed to do some clothes, some laundry. So we were supposed to leave beds and washing machine dryer. Well, because she wasn't ready, there was no way we could have gotten anything really loaded in there unless we packed it all. So we pretty much packed all day Thursday, and then we pretty much had one guy packing all day Friday, and including you sometimes, and myself.
Yep.
So it just goes to show how unprepared she was. But anyways, my point of it is that she's over here talking about, DirecTV this, and lo and behold, man, we get done. She gave us a great tip, and we appreciate her for that. She was a nice lady. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's not that she was an asshole or anything. It's just that she was
unprepared.
Not prepared for one, and then not really helping like she said she was going to. You know what I mean? So that causes a slowdown in the whole process. Like, we can't do shit. And then on top of that, during the first day she's sleeping while she needs to be up helping us and like pointing out things, because she has such a clutterfuck in the house, to the point where it's like we can't remember every little pile of stuff that's in there that needs to go one place or with her. Like, so, we need her there to ask questions. So the first day she's sleeping and lazy and doing nothing. And at the end of the first day, she was like, "Is there anything I can do to help you so that we can get it out of here by 4:00 tomorrow?" I was like, "Yes. Pack the stuff on the dressers, pack the stuff in the dressers, so that when we come tomorrow, all we got to do is wrap it and put it in the truck. It'll be so much quicker." Bro, we showed up yesterday. There was not one fucking thing packed.
Let me tell you guys, she didn't even move anything that I left a certain box a certain way, just to, it was a started box that had left, that all she had to do was literally just finish putting the rest of the stuff in, or whatever the case was, bro. And it was kind of like a test. See if she would, bro. It was in the exact same spot.
The house looked exactly how we
it
left
looked
it.
exactly the same how she did absolutely nothing.
So it just puts more pressure on us to get it done before 4.
It's crazy that we have to deal with that kind of stuff, you know. And again, I'm not saying that the lady was, you know, she was mean or nothing like that. It's just
again, she tipped us nicely.
Yeah, she did tip us nice, but at the same time, it's like it's just unfair in my opinion to put that kind of pressure on us to tell us, oh, well, I got to leave at a certain time. Oh, well, I got to do this.
But then you didn't do your part.
Exactly. Like come on, man. Like you got to take some kind of accountability here, man.
Yeah, man, it was rough. But Cecilia said I moved recently and had my nephew moving everything, but I made sure all my personal items / important stuff was already packed aside and then get mixed up with the rest. See? And that's what we mean. Like, if you know you're about to move, like, be prepared because, I mean, what do you expect? Like, we're not going to come in here. And, you know, a lot of times we go in and clean up people's trash all the time.
Yeah.
And, like, bro, like, we were everything yesterday. We were cleaning up trash. We were fucking dealing with her craziness. You know, we were being sweet to her mom. Like, and then fast forward to yesterday, or, well, I guess going back in this case, but going back to Friday, the second day of the job. We show up, we see that she hadn't done anything, so now we have more pressure to get done by 4, and we're like, oh man, here we go. So probably like an hour into the job, we're packing, still doing our thing. I'm already loading, and I come in and I'm like, fuck, some of this stuff I'm not sure of. I need to ask her if they're going or not. So I go and I'm looking for her, can't find her. So I go up to her mom. I'm like, hey, where's your daughter? And I had a question. She's like, oh, she left. She told me to tell you guys that she'll be back. And I'm like, what the fuck? You're moving. What are you doing?
It's like, you know, I get it, man. Like, and again, I don't like really blame her for it. Like, obviously she's paying for the service. Obviously she's paying us to do a job. But again, it's like, it's one thing because it's just the whole pressure that we felt just to make sure this lady can make her flight. Yep. You know, we really shouldn't have to be stressing over that kind of stuff because that's something personal. You know, our job is to move your house and get it done safely and accordingly, and yep. that everything gets done right. But we, you know, put that kind of level of stress on ourselves. You know, especially when you're like, oh, come on, Lulu, like push it, man. We gotta go. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? And that's when shit starts getting fucked up. That's when shit starts getting lost.
Yeah, because if we start having to fucking, you know, do things that we typically wouldn't do just to be done by a certain time, like, you know.
And not to mention yesterday, like, you know, Chris had told me, oh, you know, you just wrap all the furniture, whatever, you know. And there was this, what is it called, curio?
Yeah.
You know, with all her like little decor, glass decor, or whatever, you know. Well, the whole thing was glass, so you know, he's like, cover that up, and then after that, get the fridge. I was like, all right, cool, you know. When he told me to do the fridge, I was like, you know what, I'm curious. And I go in there, and sure enough, that whole fridge is packed, full. Not just the fridge, the freezer part, everything. And I was like, oh, Charles, come check this shit out, bro. and I'm like, bro, look at this. And he's like, does it have stuff in there? I was like, bro. I opened it, fucking fridge.
Full, man.
So, you know, at this point, I'm getting frustrated, you know, because I was like, come on, man, like. And she was buying groceries that day too. I know, that's the so I was like, part. What are you doing? Like, order out, like, you know, order food or you could just toss away. No, she's ordering groceries, and I was like, oh, come on, man. So I had to put that pressure on her, man.
Well, let's talk about that too, because I told Lou, I was like, hey, we're gonna have to go get the fridge soon. So I was like, let her know that if the fridge still has stuff in there, that she needs to get it out because we got to take it out. Like, today's the day. This is the last day you're gonna be in here. So yeah. You know, you got to get on it. And I just so happened to walk in right when you were just telling her about the fridge, and this lady starts bawling her eyes out.
That's when I felt bad, kind of.
She was like, man, and you know, it's like, obviously we have a job to do, but we're human, and we sympathize for people, and like obviously, you know, we care about, you know, the people we service, you know.
Yeah.
But she starts. Lou tells it just so happened. Like I'm telling you, it's just like. Happened to work out this way, but as I'm walking in, he's telling her, oh, you know, all this stuff needs to come out the fridge. She's like, it's got to go right now. Like, he needs it right now. And she goes, she was like, I'm so sorry. It's my mom. I'm like,
bro, it threw me way off.
It threw me off too. I was like, fuck. I'm like, so now we already have this stressful situation that we got to be done at a certain time. Now she's fucking losing it.
Jesus.
I'm like, man, it can't get any worse today, man. I you know, and I was just telling you yesterday when we were driving back, and this was before we got that call too. A lot of times I deal with the stresses of the shipper. I take on their stress because I understand what it means to move and how stressful you need to have certain things here and there. I get that, but at the end of the day, it is still on you to make sure you are prepared when we show up, because we can't. We're not miracle workers, man. We're not. We're like we can do things fast, but not that fast.
Not to mention, guys, give you a little insight. I don't know if they were her daughters or if they were her sisters or whoever the people that were showing up, bro. But at some point, there was at least 3 heads in there that could have helped pack. And all they did was relax with them, eat pizza, and let us go at it. I mean, look, again, you guys pay us to do this. Yeah, we'll do it and all that. But come on, man. Be conscious. If you know that your mom or your sister or whatever she is to you needs help, then why don't you just say, like, you know what? Let's make this process easier. Let them figure it out there. We're all in the room. Let's all get together and pack this
some
room.
Shit.
Like, it's just very easy.
Get it together, motherfuckers.
Yeah, man. But hey, man, it is what it is. Like I said, we try to sympathize with people and the stresses that they have to deal with, but there's a limit where we can't be miracle workers.
And the crazy part is we're not even done with the story, guys. It gets better. So, like I said, she had left, but before, or actually, she came back. After she had came back, and she had to leave again. I didn't even know she had to go to the bank. This is when I seen a black car pull up, and it was an Uber. Excuse me, it was an Uber. I see her in the back. I see her little dog walking out the driveway, about to start walking down the sidewalk. She puts down the window. She's like, Chris. I'm like, yeah, I'm in the truck loading. She's like, can you get my dog? I was like, what the fuck, bro? Like, not only I'm a dog sitter, I'm a fucking therapist. Like, bro, it's just,
man.
It was just like crazy.
Damn, so he got out like 2 or 3 times then, because I put him back in that one time.
And I kept telling her, you need to put your dog and your cat away because we're going to leave the door open. We can't stop just to set down this big heavy furniture while we're carrying it to open up a door and then have to fucking do it coming back in and multiple times throughout the day. That's going to slow our process. So put the dogs away, put the cat away so that we're not worrying about them running away. Bro. All day long, fucking dog walking out.
That dog would not listen to that lady, bro. It was like, I don't know if she was deaf or not, bro, because that dog would not react. Every time she yelled at her, like, come on, like, Bella. I'm like, oh, God. Like, that dog would just bloop.
Bro. And I'm like, like, this, you know, like, it's already a stressful situation that we're dealing with. But on top of that, you got dogs, you got cats, you got her crying, you got mom wandering all over the place. Like,
you got mom wandering around. Like, this lady don't even know where she is right now.
She did it, bro.
That shit was hilarious.
She would come over and be like, Chris, can you rap there? I'm like, what are you talking about right now?
Yeah, bro. She
had no idea.
Yeah, she had no idea. Yeah, she was telling me something. I couldn't really understand what she was saying. But then when I'm like mid conversation with her, I look back at her and she's
slumped, bro. And you know, like, look, guys, we sympathize with people who are moving because we understand that moving is a stressful thing. We get that. So we do our best to mitigate that stress.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we can't do everything. We're just not there for your personal convenience. Like, we're here to do a job at the end of the day, you know? So all this extra shit that we're dealing with is just beyond ridiculous. But anyways, fast forward again towards, we're done with the job. We got paid. We got our tip. We got back to the warehouse, put away our equipment. We're on the road back home now, right? 30 minutes into our drive home, I get a call from Brandon, dispatcher. He's like, you won't believe this, man. And when he said that, I'm like, oh, God. Here we fucking go. He goes, so Miss Rabone.
He was like, who?
I was like, who? Called me and was like, she thinks you guys packed her passport. I was like, are you fucking serious?
I almost threw up.
Bro. I was like, look, man, I'm going to tell you like this. I told this lady at least 20 times throughout our entire move, make sure you put your stuff aside in a whole different room, in a whole little section, so that we know not to pack it. Because if you don't, we're going to come in here. We got a job to do. We got a time crunch. We got to get you out of here at 4. Make sure you have your shit aside so we don't accidentally pack it. And of all things you're going to forget to fucking put aside is your fucking passport. When you know you got a flight at 4 o'clock and we're pushing 2 o'clock right now. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, bro. And not to okay, and this is another kicker, guys. The room where she claimed the passport was in
That we
supposedly packed, she was in there while we were supposedly packing it.
Yep.
So if you knew that your passport was in there and you see us packing it, shouldn't be the first thing you think, like, okay, let me grab my passport so he doesn't pack it. Bro, like there was so much things with this lady, like I said, like it's so much we can take. There's so much we can like sympathize with and try to help you with, but like that right there, just like, man, I didn't know whether to laugh or whether to be upset, bro, because that's ridiculous.
Bro, I had already had enough stress with this lady, and then when they called me about that shit, and even up until this morning, bro, I went to sleep perfectly fine. I'm like, all right, this, it's no longer on me anymore, man. Like, I've done my part. Like, I've done everything to the best of my abilities. I got her out. We literally signed papers and was done signing papers at 4:05. So maybe just a little bit past, but it's big. And we would have been on time, but she was talking to her family and, like just sidetracking me, like while we're signing papers. So it's just like,
not to mention, she vacuumed the whole house.
Oh yeah. And she was like, can you wait till we get done vacuuming in the house before you leave? Cause I want you guys to take the vacuum. I'm like, fucking serious right now, man. Like, don't you got to be out of here?
This whole time, we had cleared out multiple rooms already, so she could have been vacuuming while we're not in there anymore.
Doing nothing, bro. Just being, I hate to say it, man, but like there are some people who just like are so comfortable with doing nothing in their life, and I think that's just the type of person. Nothing against her. She was a sweet lady. She got us some Gatorades the second day. So that was nice of her. And again, she tipped us. So, we appreciate these things. But at the end of the day, like, are you taking advantage or are you just kind of like being lazy? Which one is it?
Yeah.
I think it was a bit of both. So, but anyways, point being is we went through all that shit, the whole passport thing. And then after I got off the phone with Brandon, I'm like, you know what, man, at the end of the day, it's no longer my stress, man. I did my part. For you, if you guys want this fucking passport, the truck's right there. We packed 119 boxes. Ooh. Go through every single one if you need to find them shits. Because I'm not going to go up there to go do that shit. Because it's not my responsibility. I told this lady multiple times, make sure you have your shit together so that we don't pack it.
And just so you guys don't think we're like, blowing this out of proportion, this is not the first time this has happened. Nope. I can name you one more time with another elderly lady that was moving from, what was it? It was a Semi Valley or was it Palm Springs? Oh, it was Palm Springs.
Oh, right? Madeline?
Yeah, Madeline.
Yeah, that was Palm Springs.
It was she was moving from Palm Springs to Vegas. We had multiple issues with this lady already from day one. Like from day one, she was complaining about everything, the most minuscule shit. According to her, I was eating tape. You know what I mean? But no, I wasn't. But she said that I was biting the tape and the tape wasn't like
sticking.
Wasn't sticking,
which
and
was
whatnot.
A whole nother situation.
But keep in mind, I had already been doing this for about a year already, biting the tape the same way. Never had issues, never had a problem until this lady. Long story short, we had multiple issues with her.
She was privileged.
Yeah, she was super privileged. But we finished the second day, and this was a long ass fucking day, man, because we didn't have we had to pack. Still, we had one guy packing the whole day that day. All day, like since he got there all the way till he left. He was packing, and me and Chris was running it all the way, loading the truck, all that. So once we finish, guys, like if it really like takes, ease that stress.
We're like, thank God,
like thank God, man. No. I'm tightening up the truck, getting ready to close it. This lady comes out and says, hold on. I think you guys packed my glasses. I need to get them. And I look back at her. Keep in mind that there's only maybe this room left in the truck. And this is a 26-foot truck.
Yep.
And she said, I think you guys packed my glasses. I need them to drive to Vegas. I looked at her, bro. I almost socked her in the face. I was like, there's no way. We just spent 2 days packing for you, and you still have not got all your stuff. And you're talking about something that you absolutely need to operate a vehicle because you were going to drive to Vegas.
Again, 2 times, 2 scenarios, 2 different people where they're missing something, then they absolutely need to get to where they need to get to. It's like you expect us to come in and think about that stuff for you too?
Oh, and she wanted us to unload the whole truck right then and there, so we can find a little box or whatever box it was in, and then to top it all off, is when we left. Right when we left, she calls Chris. I found my glasses. They were in the car. Just imagine if we were to be sitting there unloading this truck just to find some glasses.
I wouldn't have did it.
Bro, I mean, I know, but I'm saying, like, you know, just to try to accommodate somebody. It's you know, we might have taken it that far. I'm pretty sure you would have done if we had like decent amount of time, but
no, but we didn't.
But yeah, so you know,
I told Lou straight up, I'm like, she can fucking figure that shit out for herself.
She better fly there.
Yeah, exactly, because I'm not about to unload a whole 26-foot truck just for her to find glasses. Because even let's just say we unloaded the truck, you still have to go through each and every one of them boxes until you find it.
Yep.
And packing's it's not a quick process, bro.
Yeah.
So for you to have to go through a fucking shit ton of boxes just to find one fucking glass, bro, like, come on, man. Like, people, if you guys are hiring professional movers, be prepared when they show up. All right? Put your shit away, put it in the fucking car, put it somewhere where we won't even touch it. Because once we get there, everything we see is going in boxes.
Everything.
Everything. So, like, if you don't want us to pack your shit, get it together, all right? Because we're not gonna fucking unload a 26-foot truck, or even worse if it was an 18-wheeler, bro. Like, there's no way we're about to unload this shit so you can get what you need. Like, you should have had that shit prepared already.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and then, you know, this whole like passport thing, like, you know, I said, I was dealing with it this morning. Woke up, started cleaning up the house and whatnot, getting ready for the pod, and Meatball calls me. He's like, "Hey, Chris, you have any idea where?" I was like, "Meatball, don't even ask me, man," because I already told Brandon yesterday that these passports should have been in her bag. I don't know where they are. I was not packing. I was loading. So I can't tell you anywhere. I was like, all I know is that if it was packed from the den stuff was loaded on the second truck that we took. So that's the best information I can give you. So please stop. Like, I can't tell you nothing, man. Like, it's not my responsibility anymore. So sure enough, he's like, all right, man, cool. And then fucking, while I was driving down to LA today, Brandon calls me. He's like, so you have no clue where it might be? I'm like, I don't know, Brandon. What do you guys want me to tell you? Like, I don't know. I can't help you with that scenario. It's just something that you guys are going to have to figure out, man. Because nobody's about to pay me to go through all these boxes to fucking find it. So, yeah, man. But anyways, that's just a little bit of work and what we deal with.
I thought it was a interesting, job yesterday. I mean, because it had it up, it's up, it had us down, but it's just overall, man, like the way she left off is just crazy, man, because like I said, it's just a little case of being prepared, man. That's all you really got to do.
And I think it kind of leads into the topic of our pod today, because I feel like, it's really important for us men to really understand where we are in life, how to control ourselves, our emotions, especially in the professional space. But as the title says, where should a man set his focus and his attention to? Like, I think it's important for us to like appease to the guys who do watch our stuff, and kind of give them a little bit of insight, especially people like my youngest brother. I feel like he still has that young mentality. He doesn't necessarily know where to go in life, and I think that's a problem. I think as a man, you should absolutely have a plan for yourself. So yeah. So going based on the question, which was where should a man focus their attention? What do you think?
Yeah, man. I think, in my personal opinion, bro, I think a man really needs to, for one, we said multiple times, get it together. Make sure you have a job. Look, bro, and I don't knock guys for doing the job that they do, man. You do what you got to do to survive, make ends meet, pay your bills, feed your kids, whatever, man. That ain't nothing, like, you shouldn't be ashamed of doing what you got to do. But, you need to focus on yourself. I'm speaking on a person that's in a relationship, living with somebody, it's just, how could you'd expect them to depend on you as a man when you can't even figure it out yourself? Agreed. With the most simplest things, you know what I mean? For me, and I can honestly say, one thing that I absolutely have to work on, and it's obvious, and and it doesn't necessarily affect me to a certain extent where it just bothers me, because I've lived this my whole life, and that's me being overweight. And that's one thing that I can truly recognize and say that I can definitely improve on
Yeah.
and work on. Because other than that, like I said, it doesn't stop me from doing physical activities that I want to do and that I have to do. That's never stopped me. But in all reality, I'm only getting older. I have kids, and just for their sake of having me longer, and that's just me recognizing my top thing that I need to work on. I'm not saying it's the only thing I have to work on, but it's
Yeah.
probably my main thing that I have to really recognize and take the time to work on myself. And you always tell me, you're always giving me the opportunity, and let's go to the gym, let's go to the gym. It's just me choosing not to. I
Yeah.
can't blame anything on any situation or whatever the case. It's just me taking accountability and knowing that I just don't want to,
Yeah.
because in all honesty, I don't believe that even the people that go to the gym religiously like doing it.
But I'll tell you right
You know
now,
what I
it's a
mean?
fucking it's a hard task every day. Well, not every day. There are some days where I look forward to it. But
Yeah.
a lot of times I'm like, fuck, today, like I gotta go. I know I should go. I know I need to go. And it takes a lot of motivation sometimes. Sometimes I've told you this before. Sometimes I sit there and tell myself, Chris, stop being a bitch. Stop being lazy. Get the fuck up. Go do what you need. It's only an hour and a half out of your day. Go hit
Yeah.
the gym, bro. Like you say you're gonna do it this year. Go do it.
Yeah, and again, and this little things, guys. Like, I mean, I'm only telling you from example from my, I can do a lot more to help out at home. I can improve on myself as a man, and this is just, God forbid, anything happens to Scooby, or anything happens that I'm left with that responsibility. I'm able to know how to cook. I'm able to know how to wash. I can honestly say that, yeah, man. Like, simplest things like washing and doing things that women normally do, it's a challenge for me, because I don't do it right, or whatever the case
Well,
is.
you had a good mom who did a lot of that stuff
Yeah,
for you.
but
So
I'm saying, like, as to where men should focus their stuff on, I think it's a good thing to focus on how to cook, clean, and all that for
be
yourself.
responsible.
Yeah, be more responsible. Don't leave it all up to your girls, man. Like, yeah, we appreciate them and everything they do for us, but at the end of the day, man, if you have the time and you're not doing anything, and let's just say you're off for everything, if you can help out, your partner in any which way, I think that shows a lot, about yourself, and it improves you, and puts you in a situation where, if God forbid something does happen to your partner, you're able to do these things because you self-improved.
Yeah, and I'll touch on this a little bit because I want to talk specifically to the single men. I think if you're single and you're looking for a girlfriend, right? I think that I said this on the pod plenty of times. If you don't have the money to go on dates, if you don't have the money to go and buy your girl a flower sometime, like I think that it's on you to recognize, like, I'm not ready to be in a relationship. So if you can't take them out because you don't have the money, and if you can't do sweet things every now and again for them because you don't have the money, if you got depression in your head, if you got anxiety, if you got financial problems at home, like whatever the case is, those are things you should handle first before you should even be chasing pussy.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important for single men to understand, because I check myself all the time, and I tell myself, like, look, man, am I really, like, in a position to date? Because I have stuff going on in my life that I need to handle. But I can tell you right now, mentally, I'm sound. I'm good mentally. Like, I don't have any depression. I don't have any anxiety. I don't have any, like, like, hinderment in my life when it comes to my mentality. Like, so I think it's really important that men who are single, who are trying to date right now, if you're in a position not to date, then recognize that. I think that's important. So, like, in this case, I really want to press the issue to single men. Like, have a job, have your responsibilities intact. Don't be sitting here buying fucking the top notch best shoe that just came out for fucking $300-400, and then next week your bills are due
broke.
and you ain't got the money for it. You know what I mean? Like, your priorities are not in the right place. So I think it's really important as men, not even just single men, just as men, to have your shit together, man. Like, you need to if your main focus right now is pussy and you ain't got shit together, you're fucking up already. Because what's gonna happen when you get
You're
with that
thinking
girl?
with the wrong head, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. What's gonna happen when you get that with that girl? Like, you're gonna try to, take her out and stuff, and you ain't got it, man. Like, You know, and most girls, I'm not saying all girls need dates and stuff like that, but they like it. Like, how can
What
you
girl
really try
doesn't?
to get with somebody and like you can't even take them out on a nice date? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's important for us to focus our attention on us as men first and our responsibilities first, and then consider maybe I'm okay and ready to be in a relationship, especially
Yeah,
if you got some type of
don't
depression
sit there and
going on.
start blaming the ladies like, oh, well, they want this, they want that. I mean, hey, man, that's in their nature.
Yeah, man.
You know, it's in their nature to find a suitable partner that's gonna take care of them,
Provide
you
for
know,
them.
provide for them and all that. You cannot. I don't knock the ladies for wanting that at all.
Yeah, man.
If anybody that grew up with parents, both parents in the household, I'm not, you know, whatever everybody's situation was, you know, at some point you had to notice that obviously that you need to have your priorities in line, or else you wouldn't have made it out with your parents from what the position you guys were in.
Yeah,
Even
man.
though even if your parents are still in the position, that puts you in a position to help them as grown people, you know. And I think that goes more along with men because as men, you know, obviously you're gonna love your mom always. You're gonna want to take care of her always. Shouldn't your end goal to be to retire your mom? You know, have her not work stress anymore. You know, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. And
Yep.
I know it's hard when you have a family and all that, but when you have your shit in line and you have your priorities right, you know, I think that everything comes together real easily. I mean, yeah, we're always gonna have to work. We're always gonna have, you know, bills and all that, but it's not impossible to sit there and really realize what can I stop doing as a man, whether it be I go, you know, go function with the homies, go to the bar with the homies or whatever. Maybe you skip a few of those. You know, I mean, it's always cool to hang out with your friends and all that. But if you're the type of person where you're just barely making it and you're barely like, you know, have enough to go out, man, maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
agree.
mean? Maybe you shouldn't.
I honestly think that if you're not mentally capable of dating, you shouldn't even date at all, man. I think one of the most prominent things that we deal with in this new modern age is a lot of mental illnesses, bro. I think more so in women,
Yeah.
but men have it too, bro. I've seen a few men. I follow a couple men on
Yeah.
Instagram, and they go live all the time. And I think I know who I'm talking about.
Ah, yeah, man.
And when I tell you, my boy thinks he is the shit, and out there fucking live every day, fucking going through it,
Man,
being a gangbanger,
that fool
calling
sounds
himself
like
a
a whole
pastor.
character, man. That fool's
Bro.
he's a gang member. He's
He's
a
a
pastor.
pastor.
He does CPR.
Fuck.
He does all kind of shit, man. I
Fuck,
don't know,
man.
man. Like this guy's all over the
Volunteers on
place.
Sundays.
Like, come on, bro. Like,
Come on,
but
bro.
again, man. Like, you know, that's just. I think that's just an excuse. And you know, obviously, you know, he does what he does. You know, I don't knock him, man. But me personally, bro, like unless you have a serious condition like autism or you know or whatever the case is, I don't necessarily believe in depression and bipolar issues
Yeah.
or none of that shit, bro. Because
Yeah.
if you were in a stable environment and you don't have like you know a certain medical condition where like it's a real problem for you, then you really have no excuse, man. You're
Well,
only
go ahead. Go
you're
ahead.
only putting yourself in that type level of stress because you convince yourself you're so weak-minded. I think I'm not saying that it's not real within men, but I think that being a man, I think you should have more than enough control, at least to hide it from the people that like care about you, so they don't worry. You don't worry them.
Well,
You
what's
know
so
what I mean?
crazy about him is that he's trying to be an influencer, but yet he's preaching about being a pastor. But on one video, he's preaching about being a pastor. The next video or the next live over, he's gang banging and talking about fuck these motherfuckers. Like show up, like you know where I'm at. Like it's like how can you preach about God and then the next fucking video you're sitting there talking about fuck you. I'm about to show up, pull up, do what it do. Like nigga, like what are you preaching? Like if you're gonna be an influence, at least influence the youth to be something better than gangbanging and a side time or a part time fucking pastor. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, yeah, oh man, like I watch this guy sometimes, and you know I don't even know why I follow him, but
A little Mighty Mouse little ass fool,
bro,
man.
like, but you know it's almost as sad as it is to say. It's kind of entertaining to like look at him and be like and I will say I am judging him just because of how he comes off. Like he doesn't have the right mentality for an influencer. I don't think nobody should be out there influencing the youth to be gangbangers and handling your shit. Like, come on, man. Like we are trying to change the narrative, man. There's already a problem with the youth as it is, and I think we adding to the fuel is not necessarily what we're trying to do here. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But look, I think part of the reason why I wanted to talk about where men should focus their attention is because it's really important that we shed light on where we're fucking up. You know what I mean? And I fuck up all the time. Like sometimes, bro, I don't know if you guys can see. I bought some lights, and I probably could have saved a little bit of money, but you know, there was a great deal on there, and I couldn't pass it up. You know, and I might have needed them. I mean, granted, I didn't spend a lot of money on it because I had a deal, but again, you know, we tend to like do the things that we like to do, you know what I mean? Like buy the things we want to buy just to make us get that instant gratification, that feeling of like, oh man, this feels good to like get something I want, you know what I mean? But again, if shit's not in order and you're out there purchasing things, like I could have, there's purchasing these lights to put in the pod room didn't hurt me in any way, shape, or form. So to me, it was valid to do it, you know what I mean? But there are people who are out there who will go and fucking spend $200-$300 when they know that them $200-$300 needed to pay that phone bill, you know, and then next thing you know, next week their phone bill's off. Like, nigga, what were you doing?
It's just, you know, again, bro, like we look at things through a male's perspective. We only, you know, we talk about these things, me and Chris, and it's just the fact that we're on the same page. We're always end up with the same results. We're always thinking the same way. So if me and him, you know, being dads, being, you know, responsible to a certain extent, you know, we thinking that it's wild for these men to do the things that they do and say the things that they say, you know, and operate the way they operate. You know, I don't want to bring up people, but, you know, my Mr. Oompa Loompa, you know, shits. You know, that's another man that I really don't get because he has everything going for himself. He's from here. You know what I mean? He has every opportunity.
He's got
to have
good work ethic.
His L's. He's a very hard worker. I won't take that away from him. He's a great fucking worker.
He doesn't have his L's.
But that's what I'm saying. He doesn't have his L's. That's one thing that's something so simple that he could have already handled. You know what I mean? Just certain little things that I'm not knocking the guy. I'm not saying that he doesn't make ends meet. He doesn't do what he has to do or whatever. But I think as a man, as a person, I think something as small as having your license and having an opportunity to do other jobs because of your license, and from my understanding, he knows how to do a lot of labor working jobs. You know what I mean? So
he's a hard worker.
He's missing out on a lot of opportunity as a man because of such little things that
basic
he has
shit that he
the
should
basic
be doing.
shit, exactly. See, it's a big difference between Farizi and Shits because Farizi's still young. You know, I mean, that's still not passable for me, but I'll let it slide. Now, as opposed to another grown man, no, there's really no excuse, man. There's nothing you can tell me to convince me why you haven't done the simplest things.
I agree. And you know, going back to the mental health thing, I was seeing a video. I actually seen this a while back, and you know, when we were talking about where men should focus their attention in life, I thought back to a video I seen. I can't remember the person's name, but anyways, it was a motivational, inspirational type video, right? And he basically was saying, you know, anxiety and depression is a new age thing, because back when times were more simpler and you had to hunt for your food and fucking, you know, bring home wood to keep warm and fucking build a shelter to make sure you stay out the rain, like life was much simpler then for men and women. And we had what's the word I'm looking? We had goals on a day-to-day basis that we needed to achieve. So we needed to feed our family. We needed to make sure the food was cooked, and you know, like people were taken care of in the village or whatever. So we had a lot more things to do. Now, fast forward to how much, you know, the Industrial Revolution has like made our lives so much easier. We've gotten to the point where we have ample amount of time now to chill and do nothing. Like, think about it. Men had to go hunt to eat, right? And the women relied on that man to make sure he came back home with food, right? Now, you don't need to go hunt to go eat. All you got to do is drive down the street to go to McDonald's, spend fucking $20 and get a meal. And fuck, that sounds crazy. $20 to get a meal. But you know, like that in itself, having no like responsibilities on a day-to-day basis to like basically fulfill yourself as a guy, or even women, like it gives you fulfillment to have responsibilities to do on a day-to-day basis. Because let's just say a guy during a time back in the day where He's like, yeah, today I don't feel like going to hunt. Nobody's gonna eat.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like now we have all this time on our hands where people are just scrolling away, fucking liking this video, liking that video, and then they're sitting there looking at all these people who have nice cars and have fucking riches and nice houses, and then you're sitting there fucking getting depressed about your own life because you're not there. But you're already looking at the wrong problem. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of where mental illnesses has become more prevalent in people's day-to-day life because, like, for example, anxiety is one of those ones that I'm just like, really anxiety? Like, that's your biggest problem? Oh, I have anxiety. I have social anxiety. I don't want to go talk to people. Like, motherfucker, you are a human. We are social creatures. Why all of a sudden you want to recluse yourself, you know?
Yeah, man. Excuses that, people want to tell themselves to justify their actions and why they're doing what they're doing, bro. But look, I think what's great about what we have going on, bro, because you can honestly sit there and call me out on some of the stuff that I'm doing, try to help me just do better for myself as a man, learn, I've applied myself a lot more to learning, being open about learning new things, whether it be cooking, whether it be learning how to wash, or, all that shit, bro. I'm open-minded, especially now that you've shown me because of the way you live, your lifestyle, being single, having responsibilities. You ask me, oh, like, what you about to go do? Hey, bro, I'm about to go chill, man. I ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. She's gonna bring my food, chill out. As opposed to you have to come home, make dinner, make sure everything's clean.
Make sure the dogs are good.
Make sure the dogs are good. It's a whole different lifestyle, man. And again, some people are like, are blessed to be with somebody that can honestly help you out. And unfortunately, you haven't found it, but I think that overall, I think it makes you stronger as a man and more competent because you're doing everything that you're supposed to as your own person.
All I know is that the things that I do on a day-to-day basis gives me fulfillment in life. So like this morning, I got up 4:30 this morning. I didn't have to go to work this morning. I didn't have to get up that early, but I got up because I knew you were coming. I knew we were going to barbecue today. I knew that, we're going to have guests here. And on top of that, I knew we had to deal with the pod. I had to go pick up stuff for the barbecue. So, like, I had shit to do. So, for me to sit there and be lazy and do nothing, like...
Counterproductive, man.
Yeah, like, it's super counterproductive. And I think just having things to do on my day-to-day basis gives me fulfillment, bro. Like, there's not one time in my house where I feel bored and I'm sitting there like, man, fuck life. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't feel that way.
Hey, man, what are you doing? Oh, I'm cleaning the filter on the pool. Hey, what are you doing? I'm cleaning the fucking weeds. Hey, man, what are you doing? I'm fucking doing this. Oh, I'm washing the car. Like, bro, like, just sit down, man.
For what, bro? Like, I mean, like, I feel like I got, a lot of stuff to do and nobody's going to do it for me,
Oh, I'm setting up the simulator in another room like this. Like, come on, man. Like,
simulator room's coming together real nicely.
Hey, man, we have to check that out, man. But, bro, it's just certain things that, as men that, and that's, like I said, one thing that I can honestly say that I've learned from you is just being just more independent. Know how to do your shit, whether you're with somebody or you're not, because at the end of the day, you benefit from it and it makes you a better person. It makes you a better man for it. You know what I mean? And like I said, I know there's guys out there who are like, well, I ain't got to work on nothing, bro.
Yep.
I guarantee you have all your shit. It'll be the last thing you'd expect. Like, you have all your priorities together, but you don't wash your car. Yeah. As a man, I think that's something wrong. If you're riding around with a motherfucking dirty ass car, dusty ass car, shit in your car, bro, like, I don't know what you're doing with yourself.
I just posted on IG the other day that if you're the kind of person that takes your car through a drive-through car wash, you should be punched because that's disrespect to your car. Like, man, not only is that lazy, but like, come on, man. Like, as a man, you fulfill yourself, man. Like, do something that's
at least a self-wash.
Yeah, I don't let nobody touch my car. I do my own car wash every single time. Yeah. It never fails. But anyways, part of another thing that we wanted to talk about was how these like mental illnesses that we're dealing with now has created a different thing in women now. And I think one of those things that is absolutely created, not even just women, bro. Let's not put it on women, men too. But I think it's less in men just because men tend to have a structure in their life, you know what I mean? But I realized that insecurities spawn from a lot of these like mental illnesses that we're dealing with. So touching on insecurities, man, I think we deal with it a lot from women, and it causes a big rift in relationships. But I also think that it's not so spoken on with men. I think men have a lot of insecurities and they just don't speak on it, so they come off as toxic. But you want to touch on insecurities from men and women?
Yeah. I guess we can start with men. Look, man. I think that. Look, bro. We're all protective people, especially men. You're protective of what's yours. And
Right.
again, like you said, sometimes it may come off as being a little bit of toxic or whatnot, but
Men are naturally
keep in
territorial.
mind, like it's. I don't want to make it sound fucked up, but you're mine. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there should be
Agreed.
no doubt in my mind where I should have to doubt because you're either posting something or you're saying something subliminal or whatever the case is. I think that's what the problem with is when men start feeling that kind of insecurity is because instead of telling you straightforward from the person that you're dealing with, they decide to put subliminal messages or post something that, and that goes right back to the social media thing, bro, that, we're just literally sitting there scrolling through our phones and getting lied to, every single day. And that's all it is, man. It's all lies, bro. But then you have the guy where he won't say nothing right then and there, but he'll act a certain way differently with you or talk to you differently
Yeah.
because he's feeling a certain way. And I think that's a problem, because as a man you should plain and simple say, you know what, this is bothering me. I don't want you to do this anymore. And that goes to show you how much respect she actually has for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And once you recognize that, I don't think you should have any issues as a man. I mean, and me again, I'm only using me as an example. Like I've never been insecure about anything really when it came down to relationship wise. I'm fully confident in myself. Whether the person I'm with or whatever the case is, views me a certain way, but it's not me being toxic. It's me just being overprotective of what's mine,
Yeah.
and it's just a natural instinct that we have as men, and again, take it as toxic. But at the same time, I think that there's a level of toxicity that you can show, when you're getting physical or you're not even communicating, you're just yelling at the person. That just shows your insecurities even more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As opposed to sitting down, talking to the person and making them understand why you're feeling this way. Maybe you come off less toxic. But at the same time, I strongly believe that a man that has too many insecurities really isn't a actual man,
Agreed.
because how could you not figure yourself out? How could you not know what you're worth? How could you not know what you can provide for not only for the person you're with, but for this world?
Yeah, I agree. And I can honestly say growing up as a teenager into my young adult life, I was, and again, this is gonna be controversial because I was very jealous as a younger guy, and that jealousy I thought was insecurity, and then I started recognizing that it's not, bro. I think it's okay to be jealous to a certain extent. I think when you're trying to be controlling over the jealousy and like who people talk to or your significant other, like controlling who they talk to on a day to day basis, like I think that's more insecure. But I don't think it's wrong for a guy to be jealous. I think if anything, it's more natural for a guy to be territorial like that.
I mean, I think it's a fine line between being jealous and insecure.
Mm.
And sometimes guys tend to flirt with that line.
But we get called toxic when we're jealous.
I mean that's coming from a female point of view. You know what I
True.
mean? Had you been like, let's just say that's just an example of you telling a whole bunch of girls, they're probably gonna judge you as, oh, you're being insecure, you're being toxic. But as opposed to you telling males, a group of males, they're gonna tell you, oh yeah, man, like you're completely like, like I get it, like I would feel the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's certain levels where we can relate. But then at the same time, it's like, what do you mean you don't let your girl do things by herself? Like, what do you mean she can't go wash by herself? What do you mean she can't do this? Like, bro, that just shows what kind of person you are.
Yeah.
Because how are you so insecure to the point where she can't even do the most simplest things on her own, responsibilities wise for the house or for the family or whatever, and you're so toxic where you're like, oh nope, if I'm not going, you're not going.
Bro, and I think this is the reason why I say that I don't think women should have men friends, because she might have the right intention, but more than likely the guy doesn't. And
99% of the time.
yeah, and I think this is why we we have that jealousy when it comes to guys hitting you up, whether he's a friend or not. Like, oh, he's gay. Well, is he really? Because he doesn't seem like it to me, you know, like, and there's a lot of avenues we can go down on this insecurity thing. But again, I personally think that I was overly jealous when I was younger. And as I got older, I started realizing, like, you know what? If these females are out here going behind my back and doing fuck shit, then you probably weren't the one for me anyways. And I should just let you be. Why am I going to fight over somebody who's seeking attention from other males? You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
There's times where your insecurities are valid, but I also think that you can be overly jealous, overly, controlling, like that kind of thing. So I think it's again, back to the whole reason we bring this up is because you have to understand, like, as a man, you have to know where to put your focus. Like, if you are insecure yourself, then you probably shouldn't be dating. If you don't have money to go take her out on a date, you probably shouldn't be dating. So it's not just physical, it's not just mental, it's not just financial. It has to be everything.
And I feel like males would be the easiest gender to try to figure out about their insecurities. We're pretty straightforward, man.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't say it, once we something that bothers you, you're gonna see it. You know what I mean? You can literally tell. But now going down to women, it's, oh God, I don't even know where to start, bro, because
there's a lot of
some of the stuff, bro, like, it just does not make sense to me, bro. Like, you gave me a great example yesterday, bro. Like, let's just say you're an over sexualized person. You like fondling your girl, like hugging her, you like kissing her, you like, feeling, it's your girl, man, and it's funny that maybe sometimes that could be an issue. Obviously, like, you don't want to treat your woman like
an object,
like a toy or
like
anything. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Like, but it's funny when you say, like, okay, you're doing that, that's how you are. But then when it becomes a problem and it becomes noticeable, and then you stop for some odd reason, it becomes a problem that you're not doing it anymore because you're not doing it to him anymore. So that means they start going and start thinking, oh, well, who is he doing it to now?
Yeah, exactly.
Why did he change with me now?
Why is he not touching me anymore?
There is literally a no-win situation when it comes to some of these ladies' insecurities. Yeah, like, man. There's just no cure to it. I can't help something that you feel within yourself, in your head, what's going on in your mental, because it's not my responsibility to figure out what you're thinking of. It's my responsibility to take care of you physically, financially, and everything else. Once I'm doing that, it's not my responsibility for you to make you feel some type of way. If you,
I don't think it's men's responsibility to make somebody's woman's happiness. I think we're responsible for our own happiness, and then if we can be happy together, then we're winning.
Yeah, and again, bro, sometimes I feel like I feel like this is a lot of women. You go time period, couple weeks, couple months, it's all good. Then lo and behold, a certain situation, whether you go to the store and a girl says hi to you, whether you go out and you're getting more attention than you usually do, it's like they start showing this side of them that makes them, like, it's not even being like,
they get all quiet.
Yeah, it's just so weird, bro.
Don't
like,
have conversation.
It's so weird. Like, why would you do that? Because, and you should be happy. I think you should be proud of somebody, checking out what you have. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you should be happy. Don't take it the wrong way. Don't take it like, oh, who's this bitch? You know what I mean? Like, nah, man. Like, you should be like, oh yeah, that's like, say what's up.
That's my man.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, be proud. But
they take it to a whole different level where it doesn't need to go.
Yeah, man. And I think it's a real big problem that we deal with in relationships is a lot of insecurities, because let's be honest, a lot of the fights typically comes from somebody not liking what you're doing, because it can come off as cheating, or like, oh, you're interested in somebody else. And I think that's a problem, man. Like, I think it's super important that we control ourselves and our emotions. And again, back to where men should focus our attention. Us as men have to be in control of our emotions at all times. And I think women should take that example too, man, because a lot of them don't control their emotions. They act off of impulse.
Yeah. And you know what's even crazier, bro, that, and my opinion, bro, I don't even think that females even like each other, really.
Straight
You
up.
know, like they really they'll be friends, but once they leave the room, bro, they'll start talking so much shit about them, bro, and they're like, oh, like I don't like this bitch, like like bro, like who are you? Like what do you mean? Like you weren't you just saying hi? Anyways, my point is with this back to the insecurities of women, man. Like it's just certain things that doesn't make sense to me. You know, certain situations that really, I mean, you know, just small example, man. Let's just say you and you go on a double date with your friend. You know, I think that sometimes some women, especially the super insecure ones, they're gonna be upset because maybe this girl's getting more attention than I am,
Oh, you were talking to her
or you
more
were
than me.
yeah, or you said this to her. Like it goes something. I'm like, you do realize this is my homie that invited me on a double date. Like I'm not here to entertain his girl. I'm not here to, you know, they don't see none of that, bro. All they see is another female talking to them, and they're being overly friendly to somebody that's not supposed to be, you know, with you or whatever. But that's not the point. It's just people having respect and, you know, having that social skill that where they can not have that thought process, especially if it's your homie's girl. You're not gonna be thinking, oh, like damn, this, you know, I'll take that down. Absolutely not, bro. Like there's no way I'm gonna be doing that to my homie.
Exactly.
And females won't think that. They'll think, oh, like, you know, how do you know her? How do you do this? They're like, bro, like, is that what you really? Is that where your head's at?
Like, shouldn't your focus be on the fact that that's still your man, regardless of the fact? I think that's more important. So,
My boy Miklo's in the house. What's up, dog?
hey, late but here. Either way, you're on time, motherfucker.
Yes, sir.
Don't matter. You know, us Hispanic people are never really on time, anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
we show
it's
up
all
late
good.
to the parties. The fiestas don't really start until like 3-4 hours after, anyways.
As long as you tap in, Miklo, it's all good.
Nah, we appreciate you, man. Hey, we shouted you out on what was the last part or the one before that?
I shout him out every time
Yeah,
in
we
life.
shout you out a lot, man. We
Okay.
we appreciate you always popping in every now and again, man. That's a blessing. Adri said it's on site with everybody. Oh lordy,
Yep.
it's on site with Adri. Come on, man. I think it can't be on site with everybody because that's your man. So it doesn't matter. I think he comes home to you, and he treats you with the utmost respect, and so it shouldn't be on site for everybody. It should be. You should have to know that your man's gonna hold you down regardless of what's going on. Like I could tell you right now, you might not know it because you don't be with him all day long with me when I'm at work with him. But the dude like cherishes you guys. Like you guys are his world. So understand and know that first. And if you understand that basic concept with you and your man, then nothing else is gonna come and fuck that up. So there's being toxic. Hold on, why is the heart in the way? There's being toxic and asking to be respected by your significant other. I mean, yeah, I agree. I think, look, it's on you guys to establish certain things in your relationship. So if something bothers you, then you need to establish that from get-go. So if it's a problem, make sure that you express that to your significant other, because we're not fucking mind readers, especially guys, bro. We really don't care about the emotional shit and the going through the paces of talking to people.
I don't even listen to this fucker when he tells me about work.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? Like that.
I just know what day to show up, what time to show up, and I don't even know where we're going sometimes.
Yeah, you know, I think it's important, and this is why I was saying, going back to the beginning of the conversation about men, you know, where to focus their attention. It's the same thing for women. Like you have to understand yourself, what makes you upset, and actively work on being better at that. So if something's upsetting you and you know that it's a problem in your relationship and you guys keep having that fight, figure out why you keep having the fight. Don't just keep having the fucking fight. You know what I mean? Like stop, take a second and be like, look, let's get to the root of this. Like what's really causing the problem here? And if you guys can sit down, talk about those kind of things and like come to an understanding with each other and how not to get here, that you're winning, bro. Like getting upset off impulse is a problem in every relationship. If you can't control yourself when something comes up, if your significant other says something and you're like instantly in your face, you're just bothered, you start having an attitude, you don't even want to look at the fundamentals of that problem. You just go straight to being angry. That's a big problem.
Huge problem.
And we should not do that because that creates animosity amongst each other.
Tension.
You're not gonna want to be in the house no more. You're gonna want to go out and be like, fuck this shit. I'm not going home yet. I'm gonna stay here and have a beer. You know what I mean? And I think when you start having those types of problems, especially as a man, you start not wanting to deal, bro. Because as men, we don't fucking deal with a lot of bullshit.
Exactly.
When we start getting angry, we don't want to deal with it anymore. Because you're not creating
Preach,
peace for
brother.
me. You're not creating peace for me. And I think it's super important to create peace in your household at all times. And I actively work on that all the time because there are some things that bother me too. And I have to recognize, like, what, maybe it's bothering me because it's a me problem. So let me fix me first before I come at you. And if I'm gonna come at you, I'm gonna come at you with respect, facts, and situations to give you examples of. You know.
See, the thing is, we don't claim to be perfect men. Obviously, he recognizes some of the flaws he has, some of the things that I deal with, some of the stuff that I put up with or whatever, bro. But the fact that we're open to having that conversation, to communicate with you, to make sure that we're on the right page and we're not gonna bump heads, about the whatever it is what's going on. But I think it's a very good thing to communicate and figure it out. I think that is probably the most important thing. Just to talk about it.
Is my camera moving again? Because I feel like, it is. It is moving. Come on back over here. Come on, camera. Come on. There you go. This camera. Let me lock it in place. You want to respond to Adria? I think she just put one right now.
If you get upset, someone liked your this heart, the pictures, ask a simple selfie, commented, but then you're doing the same thing on literally X-rated pictures for women, literally begging for the attention.
Oh shit! Are we having an intervention here today? Because that one sounds like a little personal one, huh? You want to touch on it? Or you want to save that for off air? This is why we brought this pod up, man. Because obviously, relationship is a hot topic, and dating is a hot topic, and contentions in relationships. So have at it, man. However you want to respond.
Look, man, the way I see it. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that what I'm doing, but keep in mind these females 304s are nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. They're meaningful. They're just eye candy. You know what I mean? Now, when it has to do with my personal life and personal things and person that I'm dealing with, then yeah, absolutely there's an issue. You know what I mean? Because again, I'm not showing anything. I'm not going out looking for anything. I'm not doing anything thirsty or whatever. I'm doing what I just do is entertaining myself. Again, I'm not justifying what I do or what I say or whatever the case is, but my actions speak louder than words at home. You know what I mean? All my responsibilities, the things that I do right by you are done. So I think with that being said, I don't think that there should be anything that's going on what I'm doing on my phone or whatever the case is should affect you in any way when I'm not like going to meet these people. I'm not doing anything that shows that I'm like, oh, like I'm really like, damn, you're really that thirsty. You get what I'm saying? I don't think that it's the same thing. You get what I'm saying? As going and doing the actions and just entertaining yourself to a certain extent. Because obviously, if you're commenting on porn stars, they're not interested in anything but money. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have no money to be paying no porn stars to be, nothing like that. So it's really like, I don't think it's even a significant topic to be bringing that kind of comparison up. You get what I'm saying? As you compare yourself to an X-rated person to your personal wife. Yeah. There's a huge difference there.
Well, I think right off the bat, women have to understand that men are looking all the time. Despite how you feel, despite how good you look, despite you being my girl, like men look all the time. And I think it'd be a stupid point to say that women don't do it too. We know you women look. I think women are just more sly about it, and I think they don't tend to comment on it. But we know y'all look. Come on, man. Like, let's not be. Even if it's a celebrity, you're doing the same fucking thing. If you're gawking over some fucking celebrity because he's handsome and this and that, like, it's the same shit. Celebrity, X-rated porn star, fucking
same fucking
mediocre
thing.
Hot girl, like, it's all the same shit. We all look, all right? So let's not sit here and like say that we're saints. We look. We all look. So If you were to sit here and tell me that you haven't looked at some girl, you'd be lying to me. If
Yeah.
a girl were to sit here and tell me that she
Since-
hasn't looked at some
since
guy,
Scooby wants to get all personal, let me bring up a little something.
Oh,
You know, we were having a normal conversation, and again, this goes right back to the insecurity issue or whatever.
it's about to get hot in
But
here.
my point is, like, if I had said something like that to her, I know she would have got bothered. But I was talking about Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds or whatever, and I was like, the only reason why, and let me just be blunt about it, it did so great, it was because of Hugh Jackman. And she says, oh, we all know we went to see him with his shirt off. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like,
So you're looking.
exactly. You get what I'm saying? Me, if I was a piece of shit and insecure motherfucker, I would have got bothered right then and there.
But you're not.
I'm not, because I'm like, okay, it's a natural thing that you think. I even made a joke. I was like, I went to go see him without a shirt.
Bro,
you get what I'm saying?
If
like,
I was a female, I'd smash you.
exactly. So my point is like we're all visual creatures. We're
it's
not
in our
all
nature,
saints.
man.
We're not. I'm not the only one doing it. Guys may be more blunt and more stupid about it. I will admit that, because we don't think things through very, very well of the actions that we're doing. But at the same time, don't make me look like I'm the fucking perv.
Bro, I'm tell you right now. Look, I'm single and I go to the gym 4 days out the week, sometimes 5. Every time I walk into that gym, there's spandex and ass galore. And how would you expect me when women are sitting there over sexualizing themselves, looking like you're at the gym, but you have fucking 2 pieces of clothing on that hardly cover anything, but then you don't expect us to look? It's the same thing when women see a man, when she goes into a gym, dude has cut off things, biceps are fucking bulging, abs are fucking on point. Like, you guys look too. Like, come on. Like, for you to sit here and say that, oh, well, one person looks versus we all look, okay? So, and this is not a personal attack to you, Adrian. I'm just saying in general. I think it's important for us to understand that we as humans are humans. Like, we do things that are not always gonna be nice or like perfect to the your significant other's eyes. You know what I mean? Like, this is who we are. Like, we're not perfect, man. So, again, I think it'd be crazy to say that we're not all looking. So,
That's just my main point, bro. Like, I'm not the only person that sees. I'm not the only person that's watching. We're all doing it. Men, women, we all do it. You know what I mean? That's just, men are dogs. We have a really hard time of trying to hide what the fuck we're thinking.
let's be real here. The problem is not that we're looking. The problem is that when a person looks, you have a problem with his eyes being on somebody else, when in all reality, you know that he's with you. So what does it matter? Like, will you want us to walk around eyes closed all day long? We're not blind. And sorry for the people who are. And I like the stuff that they get to like miss out on. But we're not, the people who are not blind. Like, we see. They're around. Women are around. Men are around. So like, you guys are gonna look. We're gonna look. I think the problem lies is when you're trying to like make something happen with that person. You know what I mean? And I think chances are that's not gonna happen,
bro. And especially when I haven't changed my sex drive towards you, I haven't changed or made you think that I'm not interested, or I haven't treated you. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it kind of like it just bothers me sometimes, where it's taken to that extent where we're bothered with each other because of something that's happening that where it doesn't even matter. Internet isn't real. You get what I'm saying? Like, what's going on in your day-to-day based life, what's going on, what the person shows you.
And we say it all the time.
You know what I mean? It's all
themselves.
The proof is in the pudding. It's not like, I don't go based on what's going on social media, because I got a lot to say about Scooby on social media if I really want to get into it, which I don't.
Yeah,
but
we're not gonna blast anybody
exactly. But
on
again,
air.
let's just be real. Like, I'm not a bad guy. I'm not sitting here doing somebody dirty on a regular basis. That's not my intention at all. But I am human. You get what I'm saying?
Let me put it like this: if women don't want us looking, then cover up. Wear some normal shit. Don't over sexualize yourself. Don't go out fucking ass half out, fucking titties, cleavage showing. Like, if you guys
No
don't
bras.
want us, like, if you don't want us to look, then fucking cover yourself up. Men, and that's the crazy part. Men don't dress like that, but y'all still look, don't you? Come on now. The proof is in the pudding, man. Like, it's you ladies act like we just want to go and fucking willy-nilly just be staring at fucking females all day long. But when you see a girl walking down the street and her ass is half out, you're gonna stare. It's just how it is.
Even
And
females there.
bro, exactly. I've been with females. They're like, damn, look at that girl's ass. I'm like, I can look. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna get in trouble,
Yeah, bro.
bro. Like, it's just, like I said, we are a product of the shit that we put out there. So if women are over sexualizing themselves on the internet, we're gonna fucking look. It's just
And you might not think you're not doing it, but believe me, if I find it sexually erotic to a certain extent, there's another man that's taking it 10 times worse.
worse. Exactly.
Some you could even say just hi to the guy, and he thinks that you already want to fuck.
Exactly.
So I think it's worse when it's women on that side. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like we're completely different people and genders, but we all like the same things. We all look. We all we see what we want.
Yeah, man. Again, men are. We've said it so many times on the pod. We're just physical creatures and visual creatures. So like we see, we want, but that doesn't mean we're going to do it. It's just, there's a difference. There's a fine line. We understand that, especially if you're in like yourself, you're in a relationship. You might see somebody attractive, but that doesn't mean you're gonna be like, "Oh, so what's up? My name's
Not at
so-and-so.
all.
Get your number." Let's
What
kick
I
it."
think is what I think. That's
Right.
it.
A lot of times, and girls don't even realize it that we don't have that kind of pull, anyways.
Not at all.
Bro, if we really wanted, like half the girls we went up to and talked to, they probably wouldn't even talk to us.
At all.
So like, the fact that you guys think that we have all this opportunity to go and fucking fuck around, we don't. It's not that simple for us. We've said this numerous times. Men have to have some type of value and bring like some type of physical attraction to the plate. Otherwise, you're really not getting any type of play. It's not that simple for us.
Yeah.
There's a reason why there's porn. Porn is here because men can't get sex. So what's the replacement? Oh, let me put it on video so that guys who can't get it can fucking whack their shit off so that they don't sit there and fucking go depressed all day long. Like, there's a reason why the sexual market for porn is so high in demand because guys are not getting it.
At all.
Bro, the average man has sex once a month. The average man. And I'm talking somebody who's handsome, who actually has his shit together. He's getting sex one time a month.
Even the most regular girl will get more attention than a male celebrity.
Exactly, bro.
And that's
a basic girl.
That's shocking, bro. A basic girl that just has regular pictures, or maybe it's a little sexualized or whatever, but it's gonna get way more attention than somebody that's in several movies.
Let's go back to Hugh Jackman. I almost guarantee you that a basic, I hate to say it like this because I don't view y'all women as bitches, but we're gonna use the term because that's what you females like to do. Basic bitches can get more pull than Hugh Jackman.
Facts.
It's just that simple, bro. And women don't like to accept that fact, but that's literally the case. A woman can go out there and fuck probably 20 niggas in one day if she really wanted to. A man probably has a hard time trying to get one in a month.
Bro, it's funny because on Fresh and Fit, that fool was like, bro, a guy could literally go in the club and be like, oh, so like yell out some stupid shit.
And he'll still get.
And then he won't get no fucking play. But let a girl do that stupid shit, act all stupid, it'll be like 10 niggas lined up ready to fuck.
Still trying to smash.
Still trying to fuck. Bro, that's the type of power that you ladies have and
they
type
don't
of
realize it.
Opportunity that you guys have and you don't see it. You get what I'm saying? That's why when you think that, because we're commenting or we're showing a little bit of attention that this bitch is gonna give it right back. There's absolutely no way. Like, chances are that she won't even read it. You get what I'm saying? She won't even give two shits about who you are.
See, women don't realize the privilege they have, and that's okay because most people who have privilege are blind to it. Like, they don't even see it. Women. This is why we say women live life on easy mode, because you guys can get into a club for free. We have to pay. You guys can sit at the table for free. We have to pay. Like, it's just that simple. Like, the fact that you guys want to get on us about, looking, and we haven't even done anything.
Yeah, man. Unless we got like high, like really, really good connections and people that are well connected in the industry that we're trying to chill with, we won't get the same opportunity. But let's just say your friend works for a celebrity and you're like, hey girl, I got invited to a company party, but this stuff is gonna be there and it's on a yacht. Like, I can bring a +1. You want to go? You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna be like, oh no, she can't come in.
Yep.
Oh no, and bro, we have to have status. We have to have money. We have to know people, especially probably the person that's throwing the party. If you don't know, chances are
you're not getting in.
No, not at all.
In,
but yet you're a random person that got invited with some random girl, and yet you're partying with celebrities.
Yep. Why? Because you got ass, pussy, and titties. That's literally it. Like you, again, ladies, you're privileged, and you just don't even realize it. So, like ladies might not like hearing that you live life on easy mode, but you absolutely fucking do. So stop complaining. We got it hard. Y'all don't got it hard. We got it hard. All right.
Shit, man. Even when it comes to like prison system, bro, like same crimes that men commit and women commit, we will get the shit in on the stick.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? That women will get a lot more leniency, especially if they're like pregnant or if they're like other shit that obviously women have to go through. You know, but as opposed to men, bro, we're nothing. You know, we're absolutely worth and nothing if you're not providing any type of value for yourself or for anybody else. You're not worth anything, man.
Yeah,
And
man.
we're not ashamed to say that about men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yet,
'Cause we understand.
Let you have a low life ass fucking homegirl that ain't doing shit with her life, just fucking around and all that. You won't ever tell her the truth.
Nope.
You're not gonna tell her like what she's doing wrong, as opposed to a real nigga telling his homie like, "Hey, bro, get your shit together, man." Like, you know, just like you telling me, bro, like you gotta hit the gym. Like, all right, hit the gym. But, like, we can honestly say that to each other. You
Yep.
get what I'm saying? But no, like women are never gonna, like you said, those who are born with it and have that privilege are blind to it.
Yeah,
You
they
know what I'm
don't-
saying?
they don't
Because
get
they
it.
don't know it.
They don't see it. They won't ever see it, and it really it's very few woke women that I've ever met who like actually get it, you know. And I think that's fairly normal. There's very rare few people who will understand it, but I think majority of women don't recognize it at all.
Yeah.
But that's okay, you know. That's kind of the culture that we've created, unfortunately, you know. And that's the reason why we talked about the whole fucking social media playing a detriment to the dating market, because they do get 1,000 DMs, and we're over here the ones sending the DMs. Like,
Yeah, man.
we're fucking
And
it
we're
up
so,
ourselves.
and
You
we're
know
so
what I mean?
stupid, bro. Men are so dumb, bro, that just because you add this girl, and let's just say she adds you back, bro, all you are is another notch on her belt or some other option that she's gonna have where she's gonna get a date from him, she's gonna get some kind of, you know, benefit from him. And what's the guy gonna get? Absolutely nothing.
Yep.
Because you already know as a female that you're not interested in him because physically you're not attractive, or maybe he's not your cup of tea, whatever the case is.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But yet you still string him along
Get
just for the
get
fact
value.
that he can provide you with at least some kind of value.
Yep. It's unfortunate, but why would you want to be another flower then?
Wait, what?
Oh, she said follow. I said flower. Why would you want to be another follower then?
Because I like the person that I see. It's just the whole of being able to see that level of attractiveness. I mean, it's not like it's just one specific one. You know what I'm saying? It's multiple. You know what I'm saying? It's just different kind of races and females and all this and that. It's just like I said. It's just like it's like window shopping.
I'll answer that for you. Just like I've said on many pods before, men like variety. It's just that simple. Ladies don't like to hear it because it's the truth. But again, I've said this so many times. The truth might hurt, but the truth is the truth. And you just got to accept it. Because, and I almost want to go as far as to say that women feel the same way too. They like variety too. They want to sit there and sit on this high horse, and they might not act on it. But I think they do too.
Well, let me ask you, Scoop. Why do you let people that you don't know follow you?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you know, let me not get in between y'all.
But again, it's basically she's saying, why follow them, right?
Yeah,
okay, so
right,
why do you allow other people that don't know you, especially that's a male that you absolutely have nothing to do with, but have connections to certain
It's an
people
intervention today, guys.
So it's like, what's the
Therapy.
difference here?
Oh,
At least I don't know the person. At least there's no way, shape, or form where I'm gonna even bump into them. But you're talking about people that live in the same neighborhood that you absolutely don't know that know me.
Oof. We're at therapy session today.
Come
guys.
on, man.
Holy shit.
You want to comment? Let's comment on that.
Today. Clearly, they got some stuff going on.
Again, like I said, bro, like there's certain things that again females feel insecure about, and they don't see the whole fucking picture. They're not They're not looking in the mirror and realizing what they're doing.
Yeah.
You guys, it's only me. It's only the guys. Oh, we're the piece of shit. We're the dogs. Yeah, we absolutely know that, and we can recognize that. But have you really looked at what kind of tendencies you're doing? What kind of 3 or 4 shits you're doing? No, you don't sit there and stare. You only want to sit there and point the finger at somebody because you're afraid to recognize what you're doing.
She put unfollow. Yes, but you might have unfollowed, but the fact is it happened already. It didn't. You've done it, so it doesn't matter if you unfollow or not. I think. Look, I'm not on either of your guys' side. I'm just saying, in general, we have to recognize what's really going on. Like, if you've done it, then you can't point the finger and say, why are you doing it? Because you've done it too. So, like, let's not point the fingers. Let's just get to a point where if there's a problem with social media between any relationship, then sit down, have the conversation, be like, look, I don't want you following random girls. I don't want you following random guys. Like, have that conversation. If you guys never have the conversation and then you guys are having a problem about it, what the fuck do you expect? You never
And
had
it's
the
so
conversation.
stupid that something as social media that becomes an issue in relation, and that's why we said that social media is one of the biggest problems in relationships and nowadays.
Agreed.
Because of things like this. Again, my actions towards her have not changed. You can ask her.
Yeah.
My lust for her, my love for her, my respect for her has not changed.
Well, I think we established that
At
you're
all.
an info. We just found this out
But
recently.
like I said, bro, like it's the fact that what I do that's in a world where it's not real is not real to me.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm gonna act on. What's going on in my life, my personal day to day by dealing with you as a person, that's what matters to me.
I think we should really work on not being fake with anybody. Be straight, like tell it straight up. You know, say how you really feel, and then have a conversation about it, and how to like, you know, get past the problem. Because I mean, ultimately, you don't want to be at odds with your person. You know what I mean? So I think really finding a balance on how you guys can communicate about the problem that you're having, and
Definitely.
you know,
And you know,
I think
and that's one thing
important.
that I do say that we do communicate about it, you know, but again, if once we communicate about it and then you revert to the same issue again, did we really communicate? Did you really understand? Are you really going to change? Or do you really see where I'm coming from? But when you revert back to the same argument, it just proves to me that it went one through one ear and out the other, because we're right back to the same thing.
Some people will agree and say like, yeah, it was my bad, and then go back to the same behavior. That means you didn't put in the work since the last time. You got to put in the work. Like, if something's a problem in your relationship, then recognize whether you're the problem, and if you are, then recognize that you need to fix it. Like, you can't have somebody fix it for you. You got to figure it out, man. Like, if you're going through it as a man, like, for example, I'll give a personal example. Again, I've got called toxic, and because I'm jealous, because I don't want my woman being friends with a guy, or want my woman wearing another guy's shirt, like a personal example again. And I got called toxic. But how does that look? That, I mean, it's simple, it's stupid, it's a shirt, but it's not necessarily the shirt, it's the principle. It's the fact that you think it's okay to wear another guy's shirt when you got your own fucking man. Like, men are territorial, understand that about men. So we don't want y'all doing fuck shit like that. And I had to do work on myself. Like, am I being fucking?
Yeah, man.
You know?
Because had she said, "Hey, I really like your shirt. You think you could get it for me?"
Yeah, exactly.
That's different.
Exactly.
That's different. Yeah, you have the same shirt that he's wearing, but it came from you.
Yeah.
You know, you told him because but you going like, oh, just taking somebody's shirt. You're not doing it just because you like the shirt. You're either like how he looks in it, what it smells like. It has a lot to do with the fact.
Well, the bigger problem in that scenario was that the person's shirt that she was wearing, he wanted to be with her. And I kept telling her, oh, he's just a brother to me, this and that. I'm like, you think that shit, but he wants to fuck. Like, I'm a guy. I'm telling you what I see. And, like, for you to sit here and be like, oh, he's just a friend, this and that. Like, no, motherfucker. He is trying to smash you. And what you don't see is that, oh, she's wearing my shirt. Chris is about to be mad. That's the joy he gets. And you don't see that disrespect from me. All you see is, oh, Chris is getting all bothered because I'm wearing a shirt, and it's just a fucking shirt. No, it's the fucking principle. You're being disrespectful. Get that shit through your head. That's not jealousy. That's disrespect, and men don't tolerate disrespect. And that's one of the things that we have to like really recognize where the problem lies. Again, like I said, do the work. Figure out what the problem is. Was it really the shirt, or was it things leading up to that shirt? You know what I mean? And I had already told her before that he's trying to smash, and I don't appreciate that he's trying to do little things for you. That is my job. And I don't think you're seeing that. Oh, he's just a friend. I see him as a brother. I'm like, you see that, but he doesn't. He doesn't see it that way. I told you that even in that scenario, one time I went out of town, same girl, same guy with the whole shirt thing. I went out of town, and you know, just how happened we were all living in the same place, and we were all supposed to go see a movie, but we ended up having a last minute trip, so we had to go out of town. This fucker puts in the group text that he's gonna go take her to the movies while we're gone. Nigga, I almost fucking socked that nigga when I got back. Like, that's what I mean. So it's like, is it really the shirt that was really my issue, or is it the fact that he tried taking you to movies while I'm gone? He's over here buying you fucking Starbucks before work. He's buying you lunch during, you know, like, do you not see what I'm seeing? You know, and then you want to sit here and tell me he's just like, you see him as a brother. You might see him that way, but he does not. And, you know, again, the disrespect. Ceci said, wearing someone's shirt is a statement for sure. For sure. So it is the principle. See, thank you. And that's coming from another woman. You know, and I got called toxic for that shit. And I, you know, it was literally one of the reasons why we ended up breaking up, because it kept happening. It was like little things, like I said, the shirt, the fucking movie comment, and the fact that she was willing to go without me when I was not there. Like, the disrespect was there. So, you know, it just kept building and building. And on that last situation with the shirt it
just goes back to that females honestly truly believe that they can be friends with guys. Man, you guys are so stupid, and I'm just telling you straight up, man, you guys are fucking idiots. Like, if you honestly sit there and unless you have a motherfucker that has nothing but fruit in his cup, then I don't believe you. Look, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way that a guy, he can treat you, he won't even say nothing thirsty, but let you say, you know what, I'm having issues with my man, like, let's go hang out. He's gonna jump on that shit quick, so fucking fast,
quick, bro. And that's what I said, man. That's why the next female that we have on the pod, I really want to ask her if she has a friend that's a guy, and if she'd be willing to call him and see if he would be willing to do something randomly. It's a really good test, because it just goes to show, like, I think even if, let's just say she's like, nah, I don't want to do that, because she knows he wants to smash. But what are you getting out of this guy being your friend? All the value, and he gets nothing. And, you know, ladies don't like to hear it, but it's the truth. Like, it's the reason why I've become so forward now with women. I refuse to go out on a hangout with some girl who considers me a friend, and all I'm trying to do is one thing with you, is be with you and like smash and all the other shit. Like, it's the reason why I'm straightforward now, because it gets me the results I need. You know what I mean? And it's the reason why I choose to stay single now, because half the women realize that, oh shit, I'm not getting anything out of this guy because he's telling me straight up he's just trying to kick it and have a good time. What are they losing by me saying that? Oh, they don't get the date. They don't get the fucking flowers. They don't get the nice gift, you know. They lose all that. So therefore, just hanging out and being straightforward to the point is a problem for them. Because now you get no value out of me anymore. Crazy how that works, you know?
Yep.
It's like, so you want to read that one just so I'm not away from the...
It's like if my man giving his sweater to another girl while I'm there. Yeah, nope.
Yep.
Or not there. What the fudge? LOL. Yeah.
Agreed. And that's what we mean. It's like there's a level of disrespect, man. And I think, you know, for us to be called toxic just because we're territorial of the person that we care about, like, it just, you know, I was not the problem. And again, like I said, I did deep diving, bro. Like, I looked at myself. I was like, am I being too jealous? Like, I questioned myself, you know. I'm like, fuck, maybe I am, you know. So I started like thinking, maybe what can I do to like not make this like bother me, you know? How can I be more secure as a man for myself? And then I started recognizing, you know what? It's not me. What the problem is that why am I fighting to show my girl that she's being disrespectful? The problem is that she is being disrespectful and doesn't recognize it. And I shouldn't have to fight for that. And I started realizing the problem really is that I'm being exactly how I should be. I'm being territorial over the girl that's my girl. But what the problem is that she doesn't recognize that she's doing wrong. And that's when I was like, you know what? It's not me. I had to check out. I was like, I'm good, man. I'm not going to fight over a girl who doesn't want me or recognize that you're being disrespectful to me. Like, if I'm respecting you by not giving, just like Ceci said, a girl my sweater, then you shouldn't fucking do the same. It's just that simple.
Well, you do wear a size baby gap, so you might be able to rock a, you know.
Baby Gap.
I'm just saying, you know, you
Some
better
man
wear some
size, okay?
tight shirts.
I mean,
what
I
I'm saying?
gotta show these guns, man. What the fuck? Well, you think I'm going to the gym for no reason?
Hey, man, I hear you.
I want the females to look. What the fuck?
Hey, I ain't mad at you, dog.
I mean, come on, man.
Nigga said.
Man, I'm just
Oh God, but yeah, man, you know, it's just a lot of things that ladies have to just. I mean, I think that this podcast is great, man. It just gives you great insight because we're not the only guys thinking this, man. If you really, man, test out your guy friends.
Yep.
Test it, put it to the test, man. Like literally, like
Jennifer said gaslighting.
open yourself up to that idea with him, and just pay attention to the way he changes, the things that he's willing to do for you, and everything, man. You give that guy the opportunity, he will absolutely take it.
Yep, I agree. I don't, you know, I know a few women who I've tried to talk to who said they have guy friends, and I don't know. I see that as a problem, man, because you might let him into your life and, you know, treat him as a friend, but in all reality, he's just biding his time, man, until that day when you're vulnerable enough and going through it the most, and you just need that physical outlet that day. He's gonna be right there, fucking Captain Save-A-Ho. Let's go.
And that's just a fact, ladies.
You know,
But
and I think that's a problem because, look, I'm not saying that women can't have guy acquaintances. But for you to sit there and you're texting this guy on a day-to-day basis, but you got a man and you're fucking relying on him when you're going through some emotional shit, but you got a man. Like, why are you doing that? Shit is the most disrespectful shit you can ever do to a man, because how would you feel if your guy was out there confiding in another girl about what you're going through with her? You wouldn't accept it. So why should we accept it? It's not going to happen, bro. And I refuse. I'm sorry. If I get with any lady, and I'm sorry if this pisses anybody off, but if I get with any lady and you got guys friends, we're not going to work. Because I'm going to tell you right now that man is not your friend. Because you give him the opportunity to smash, he will. Crazy. Okay, we read that one already. Anyways, yeah, man, like I said, it's we have to recognize shit for what it is and stop, like, pretending like it's not really the case, you know? So, hey, ladies, if you really got a friend out there who treats you like a friend and has really no intentions on smashing you, he's a rare one. But the reality is most guys will want to do so. But anyways, we are nearing the 2-hour mark, and we've been going for a cool little minute, which is surprising. I didn't think it was that long.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it either.
But we did talk about that work story for a cool little minute.
Oh, so. Yeah.
But yeah, so just to round it out, guys, today's message was ultimately like, guys, if you're focusing your attention on women and getting pussy and trying to, you know, like, be that guy, but you ain't got a job, you ain't got fucking nothing really going on for yourself, you got mental issues that you're dealing with, even being overly jealous, that's a problem. I think you need to focus your attention on the more basic things, like, where are you going to be in the next 5 years? Have you started putting together a 401k? Are you saving up to buy a house? Is your car paid off? You know, just simple things.
This is basic shit.
Basic shit, bro. Like, and the fact that we have to talk about it is a problem, because there are guys out there doing fuck shit, bro. Like, it's not just the ladies, man. Like, I know we talk about ladies because we're men, but the reality is there's a lot of guys out there doing fuck shit too. You know, like, I used to do it too, like when I was younger, but now I'm, you know, a little more grown and I got my life a little more established, and, you know, things are going right for me. And, you know, it just so happens I just can't find a girl who's like checked all the boxes for me thus far, you know? And, you know, that's okay. I'm not hurting, man. I'm happy. I'm good. Like, a woman is not necessarily what I need. What I need is a companion who's going to live life with me and fucking find ourselves and be happy together, bro. Like, life shouldn't be that complicated, man. And the fact that it's so complicated to date is part of the problem. So,
yeah.
But, you know, and then as far as insecurities go, man, I think it's, you know, I think if you got them, you have to recognize what it is and work on it, man. Work on yourself. You can't, I've already said it many times before, like, you can't try to be with somebody else if you can't even be consistent with your own self. So, Yeah. Be consistent with yourself, man. Like apply yourself. Hit the gym. Fucking, don't sit there and wallow in your bullshit when shit's going sour. Like figure it out, man. So, you want to go ahead? Comment on some of the.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure people got the message. Again, the whole. And again, ladies, like you said, we're not just pulling it on you. Us men, we do feel some type of way sometimes, call it security or whatever, man. But just, I think that when a guy does it, I think he has better reason to. And we view things differently, bro. We see things differently. And when we see something as a man that we know exactly what a man's trying to do, and we're just trying to, prevent that from happening, call us toxic. But it's just me trying to protect what's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think another thing too, I will say to men that if you are in a good headspace and you got a good job and you have things put together and you're trying to date somebody and a woman's giving you a lot of inconsistencies, drop it, bro. It doesn't matter how fucking sexy she is. It doesn't matter how sweet she might come off. If she's throwing off red flags and you're seeing it on a consistent basis, drop her, bro. Don't disrupt your peace for a mediocre girl, despite how good she might look. Don't do it, man. Get with somebody who's going to benefit your life, who's going to bring value to your life, who's going to fucking walk on this path with you versus, on the opposite side of the road looking at you while you guys are trying to get to the same place individually. Like, that's not going to work. You guys need to be on the same path together, hand in hand. Let's go, So I think it's really important that we stand on our standards and don't fucking let them go for anybody, just no matter how good they might seem at first. And I think it's really important, like we said this too on the pod, make sure you vet somebody at least 6 months to a year before you get with them. Like, our biggest problem is we lust right away over somebody who's attractive, who kind of checks certain boxes right off the bat, and you're like, oh fuck yeah, like that's the one, and you go all in, and then 6 months later you start seeing the true them, and you're like, fuck, if I like this, you know what I mean? So vet your people, man. Don't be so gung-ho to get into a relationship. But anyways, this is where we're gonna start ending it out. What I will say before we go, we do have a few things in the works. Did you get in touch with A1?
I haven't. I texted him, but he hits me when he can.
Okay, well, I think we're gonna try to shoot for this week, having a guest on the pod, and if it's not going to be this week, it'll be next week.
Yeah.
So we'll work on that. And then another thing we're planning on doing for the pod is doing more React videos. We talked about doing movie reviews, but one thing that I already started working on is product reviews. And I'm sure you guys seen from our cameras, we got a shit ton of lights in this pod room, and I'm constantly adding more. But I reached out to Govee to see if we can get sponsored through them, as well as I reached out to this one company called FanHome. So we're doing those things, and we're just gonna see if we can get affiliated with them and get sponsored. Just get the channel on a bigger platform, and yeah. So one of the things, I just recently bought this light that you see behind me going off this week. I did some unboxing stuff and talked about it a little bit, so I'm gonna post that up on the channel in a different section from the pod, but it'll basically be about reviewing products and things like that. Again, we're trying to do it so we can get more viewer based on other things aside from just male self development and dating and stuff. Like, we want to keep this channel very well rounded. 6 months to a year. Would that be a situationship? Ooh, no, I don't think so. I think if you guys make it a fact that you guys are exclusive, I don't think it's necessarily a situationship. I think it's look, we all know that you get with somebody within that first 2-3 months, you're really loving what you're seeing and feeling with this person, and then that high goes away, so to speak, and then now you're dealing with some of the stuff that you looked past before, and you're like, I don't know if I want to deal with that so much, like, I thought maybe it would go away, but here it is, still rearing its ugly head. So I think it's important at least 6 months for you to vet somebody. Like, make it exclusive. Make you like, yeah, we're only seeing each other, but I don't think you should call it a title. Like, you are my girlfriend within that first 2 months. Never. Because I used to do that all the time, and then I ended up fucking realizing this is not the girl for me. Like, And I'm like, fuck, now I got to break up with her, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, spare yourself that breakup and just, like, you know, really see if this person is who you want to be with. So, yeah, I don't think it's a situationship at all. I think it's more so, like, make it exclusive that you guys are talking to each other and you're not going to go outside of that. And if within 6 months it seems like it's going somewhere serious, then, yeah, I think a title can be put in there somewhere. In all honesty, if I'm being real, I think a year is really, like, what you should go for. But you start seeing like people's true colors within about 6 months, though. Usually. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So hopefully that answered your question a little bit, Jennifer. Yeah. So I don't think it's a situationship. But back to the lights. I'm gonna be posting up the product review probably sometime in this week. So you guys look forward to that. If you guys are interested in like setting up LED lights throughout your house, yeah, and we'll probably be doing other product placements and things like that. If you guys haven't really seen our studio tour, we're just adding more stuff in here. We just added some more pops in here. We added a new poster that you guys can't really see on the cameras at the moment, but we'll always post little shorts here about the pod room. So stay tuned for all of that stuff. We always enjoy getting on here shooting the shit, and it's a good time. And today's live was actually really more lax. We didn't even really come up with too much of a structure. We just knew what we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Just to see how organic it can be. And look, bro, we ended up going 2 hours. So, sometimes we got shit to say. But again, much love to everybody who comes in here. We appreciate you guys all the time. I didn't know I was doing a therapy session today, but we still love you, Scooby. So, shit happens, man. And this is the beautiful part about the pod. We get to like, oh my God. Save it for when
You're right.
Hey, we just found out that my boy lives with Nympho, so.
I can't help it.
Well,
it's like I think about sex
some of this shit
constantly.
he told me, I was like, really? I was like, damn, bro, you got a problem.
Yeah.
I thought I was bad.
Yeah.
Fuck. Well, anyways, therapy session, fucking, revelations. But, at the end of the day, man, it's all love. We do this shit because we want people to recognize certain things. And we're about to get off this pod, go barbecue with our people. So it doesn't matter. Like, we want to have these conversations with people, and I think it's important. So anyways, guys, I won't keep on rambling because if you leave it to me, I probably will. So let me switch this over real quick. Probably next Friday we're gonna go live. So long as we don't have any work issues, we'll try to go live. We might even do a Saturday. We're just kind of testing out the waters on what really works for us. So either way, stay tuned. Try to stay tuned to our socials and things like that. You guys will get information there. And always check YouTube if you guys are unsure of when we are going to go live, because I usually post the thumbnail and the schedule within like 4 days ahead of time. So stay tuned, guys. Much love. Until next time. Peace.